We are with Mahua Maitro and we are going to Nakashipara, one of the assembly constituencies. And here, yes, we are going to this village, and generally it is stated that Mahua Maitro herself does all the election management. Is it so that you yourself, you have a team and they work for, and how do you manage that?
Yes, that's something that I have done not from today, but right from the very first election that I fought as an MLA. Because I contested as an MLA, and before I became an MLA, I was closely involved with the organization in the Trinamool Congress. I was a general secretary. I stayed and I did a lot of elections before I contested myself.
Your corporate career helped it?
Yes, my corporate career helps, as in I think in logical thinking, in setting up processes and setting up systems. Of course, it's invaluable, but within the organization, election management is something that I learned by doing in the 2013 Panchayat election, for example. There were 2011 election, 2014 election. These were elections that I did not contest in myself, but that I sort of watched very closely and helped in the management. So basically, I've realized that when it comes to an election, at least I'm anyway a control freak, and I like to make sure that the processes run very well, because election is mathematics, and the systems and processes account for a lot. And especially when you are with a mass-based party, like the Trinamool is a mass-based party. So we have got, so when you've got a mass-based party, you don't automatically come from a culture of organization. Now Abhishek has put in a very strong organization structure in place, but that's not something that comes naturally to either the voter or the worker. So in that case, I think to set up these systems is very important, and to oversee these systems. Look, we're looking at a 60, 65, 70 day process ultimately. So during that time, you just have to make sure everything goes on time. You divide it up. So this time we've had it much longer than it should have been. So you have the first month, and the tempo can't be sort of lifted much before time, because you can't hold on to it. So to space it out, so first phase, what do you do? Second phase, pre-nomination, what do you do? Post-nomination, what do you do? So these are all important things that one needs to look into. So yes.
Mahua, from New York to London to, you could have been a president, international president of JP Morgan, something like that. From there to, here, and whenever I call you, you say that I'm in Krishnanagar. So, when there is so much, at times when there is so much of controversy, do you think that would have been better?
Not at all, not at all. There was a reason why I was here. This is my passion, this is my calling. And today when we are, fighting against this fascist, brute, majoritarian force which is destroying India, it is all the more important that someone like, people like us need to be here and on the ground. It's no point sitting in New York and doing armchair politics and talking about how great India is, unless we can come here and make a difference when it matters.
Is Mahua generally angry and a tough taskmaster?
Yes, I'm generally a tough taskmaster. I'm angry when I need to be. And I don't see these questions being asked of male politicians. I've seen many ill-tempered, badly behaved, angry male politicians who are never asked this, and so I don't know why these questions are reserved only for women. But yes, I'm angry when I need to be, and I'm always a tough taskmaster.
Do you, at the same time, do you think that being a woman, obviously, you did not had any godfather with you. You did it yourself. Do you think that's tough at times?
No, I think in a state like Bengal, where we have a very gender equal, liberal, tolerant culture, it is almost, no one looks at you. I don't think they've looked at me as like especially I'm a politician. I'm defined as a politician. And in my area, I was defined as an MLA, I was defined as an MP. I don't think they look at me as a woman MP or a woman MLA. They look at me as, a district president. They don't look at me as a woman district president. So Bengalis are completely gender neutral in that way. Thank God for that. It's only when I went to Delhi and I went to the patriarchy of North India, and especially the patriarchy of the BJP dominated parliament, that I realized there's a misogynist world out there that doesn't treat women as equal. I'm thankful to be born a Bengali, and Bengalis, like I said, are a superior race who are not confined by these narrow domestic walls.
And what you feel when somebody tries to tag you as anti-national?
I feel like laughing because you have people like, I feel like laughing. Clearly my voters feel like laughing, and 60% of the country who didn't vote for the BJP also feel like laughing.
Mahua, in one side there is is Lokir Bhattad. In another side, there is this Shandesh Khali issue where they are saying that bad things have the Trinamool has done bad things with the woman. How do you react?
I think Sandesh Khali is something that has been really pumped up in the national media by the Godi media. It is one incident limited to one particular block of one Lok Sabha. As you can see, there is absolutely no repercussion anywhere else. Whatever has happened has been dealt with very strongly by the state government. I think that's the end of it, frankly. And you can see here that we are a gender-neutral state. Women have equal rights and privileges, and Mamata Banerjee, as a lady chief minister, has done her utmost and has succeeded in empowering every rural woman here. So I think that's all that matters.
There are hiccups in the campaign too, as you can see, all the branches of the trees, they are also falling in the way. Mahua, also, so much of people are coming out talking to you. You are saying Lokhi Bhattad, and you have, and there is this thing that ED CBI is behind you, and some of them say people are garlanding her. She is talking.
ED and CBI may be behind me, but my people are in front of me.
So there is this also thing that you might have to fight it behind the bars. That's also there in the market, and your mother is also ready. She tweeted.
I've never walked away from any challenge in my life that is thrown my way. So if so be it, then so be it.
Also the ED CBI rumors, you are enjoying that too.
Well, the poor fellows, they're only doing their job. What do you say? They're only doing their jobs. Every ED and CBI official knows it's a politically cooked up case, and the poor officials have to do their job. They're very polite and civil about it. So it's the Prime Minister and the PMO and the HM's office that are running it. And so I have really nothing against the officials, but the whole world can see it for what it is for.
They're counting your saris. That's what somebody told us that.
Yeah. They counted my saris. They counted 82, and they wanted to know the price of each one.
Mahua, there is your opposition here. They are saying Rani Ma, and none other than the Prime Minister has called her. What do you have to say about her?
It's a BJP's Prime Minister, and he's an election minister. So it's natural that he will call their candidates. And as I've said, I have nothing personal to say about the opposing candidate. She is a member of her party and has stood against me. Good luck to her. And all I can say is that we're a democratic country, a world's largest constitutional democracy. And in Bengali we have a saying, Kon Rajar Ma. So that's a question I would like to ask the BJP. Can they tell us which Raja's mother she is? That's the only question. But apart from that, the BJP is what the BJP is. I'm fighting the BJP. I'm fighting its symbol. I'm fighting its fascist forces. Who the candidate is completely irrelevant to me.
She's saying that she's protecting this fight is against corruption and protecting Sanatan Dharma.
Okay. Good luck to her for protecting Sanatan Dharma. I didn't realize that the Hindu faith had been given on lease to the Roys of Krishnanagar. But if they are indeed protecting them, then I think they should have thought twice about being traitors to this country and selling out the state of Bengal to the Kingdom of Bengal to Robert Clive. So I think she's got a very long and illustrious history of treachery. So it really doesn't matter to me what she says.
Oh, what about corruption? Corruption is an issue in West Bengal. The ministers are inside, and one MLA from this area also.
Well, when 82% or 92% of all ED and CBI cases are against the opposition, and the minute any so-called corrupt member joins the BJP, all cases against him are normally him or her are immediately dropped. I don't think that this corruption hawa started by the BJP has anything whatsoever, because this whitewashing machine of the BJP. So I think this is something like where I said it's 92% of all cases are against opposition members. One would think that the BJP are all saints and holy men. And the minute the so-called corrupt members join the BJP, all cases are dropped.
They are saying that they are thinking of giving back the money. What's your take on that?
Why doesn't he start with giving back the 15 lakhs that he had promised us? Why doesn't he start with repaying not even repaying, just paying the 100 days wages, that 8,000 crores plus interest that they withheld illegally from the state of Bengal? Why don't they start by paying the Awas Yojana homes that they have illegally withheld from the thing of Bengal? Let's start with paying those back before they start.
what about this CAA that's been implemented? You all are saying foreigners and BJP is saying you all are misleading.
The CAA, you see, the CAA has actually turned out to be a terrible trap for the BJP. They started the CAA by Hawa in 2019, and they tried to tell everybody that there's a special citizenship that you're going to get, and they try to divide Hindus and Muslims and create fear among the Muslims, saying that you'll be taken away to Pakistan. And then for 5 years they didn't do anything. Now what's happened is the Matwas and the Nomoshudros, who were essentially their CAA vote bank, after 5 years they've notified it, and they've said you have to go to a website. And the first, Chacha, Ashibat Korben, the first question is, are you an Indian citizen, yes or no? Now tell me who, in their right mind, any Matwa, any Nomoshudro in Bengal who's come after the 71 war, who is Asha Didi, bhalo thako, has got Lokhir Bandar, got an Aadhaar card, got a voting card, is going to go and say, oh, I'm not an Indian citizen. By doing that, they are designating themselves as illegal aliens. Second question is, if you've come from Bangladesh, where are your papers? People who've come after the 71 war were refugees. Are they going to have their grandfather's birth certificate or their mother's land deed? So you see, these people have realized this entire thing is just bunkum.
And it's going to have no effect?
It's going to have no effect, and it's not only is it having no effect, it's actually backfiring.
Mahua, we have seen that Sonia Gandhi, with you when you were expelled. But your party took a time to stand by you. Party did a wet and watch, and then the party stood by you.
That's not true at all. Abhishek came out right in the front and said that, Mahua is going to fight her fight, which I have, obviously. And
don't you feel bad?
No, I feel extremely proud to be part of the Trinamool Congress, who are only ones fighting the fight against the Modi government, and I'm proud to be standing on their ticket, and I'll be even prouder to be win on their ticket. Yeah.
There are times that when the party does not stand by you.
We are a democratic party. Everyone has a right to their voice, and I don't expect, we're not a fascist party where everyone has to say Modi ji, Modi ji. We are not North Korea. So we even take pride in the democratic fabric of our party.
Okay, so another question is how much confident Mahua Moitro is and about the win.
You are seeing my constituency. This is an organic roadshow. Nobody has been busted. People are coming out of their thing. They know me by name, by face. I've spent 5 years here. I've done development.
If you're by chance behind the bars.
If I'm behind the bars, like I said, if I was going to win by a lakh, if they do anything ridiculous and stupid, then the people will get so angry they'll double my margin.
So you're confident?
Of course I'm confident. It's not a question of winning.
Is it super confident or confident?
No. It's not a question of confidence. I'm very sure. I'm sure, and that feeling of security comes from having done my work and been in my area. It's not a false sense of security. Ma, Ashibat Korben.
So,
Ashibat Korben. Every single road I'm going on, I've been on thrice in the last 5 years. Every single village I've hit. So I've done my work. I have nothing to be ashamed of. I'm true to my conscience. I love my people. They love me. It's a question of my margin. It's not a question of whether it's victory or defeat.
But all over, you are one of the very prominent national face also.
Yes.
What about India? What's going to happen to India, and what's going to be
the issue with fighting your own election is, especially in a rural constituency in mine, you're so focused on your own election, you don't really get time to go out. So that's the issue. But from whatever sense I'm getting, I think, Ashibat Korben, I think that people all over India are realizing that these fascist forces need to be defeated. And in states where the India Alliance needs to fight in alliance, for example, in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, they are. In states like ours, where we are fighting separately, we are. But we are all part of the India Alliance, and the India Alliance very much holds.
But there are times where, the vote is divided on the basis of religion. This is a minority region, that's a majority.
That is something the BJP has brought in. That poison is something the BJP has brought in. It's not something that we have done. So this kind of, I keep asking, oh Mahua, because you have a 38%, 40% minority, that's why yours is Ma, bhalo to. Bhalo achen to. That's why you win. And I feel like laughing because, as you can see, can you tell among these people standing, you have 2 Muslims and 3 Hindus, then 2 Muslims, everybody is living in the same area. How can you, when you make a road, say only a Muslim can walk on it or only a Hindu can walk on it? So our plank is development. When we give Lucky Bandar, we give it to every woman between the age of 25 and 60. We don't give it based on religion. So we don't play religion politics. It's ma bhalo to. So we don't play religion-based politics. And Bengalis as a race are, I say, a very tolerant, embracing race. So this kind of divisiveness has never worked here. Rabindranath Tagore taught us that a very, very long time ago. We didn't need Modi to come and tell us that.
One last question. It's a very off-the-record question. Yeah. This heat, with
Yeah.
such shades and cotton sari and all these things. What are you really doing to beat up the political heat and the temperature?
The last few days have been terrible. The Tropic of Cancer goes through this constituency. Yesterday was 42.8. As you can see, today also it's about 43 degrees and this warm air. So it is very warm and very difficult. But you know, what has to be done has to be done. I don't think about it. So you try and drink water, you try and cover up, and you get on with it. That's all. I don't think too much about it.
So this was Mahua Moitro, a very confident Mahua Moitro, who says that even if she is behind the bars, her level, her difference with her nearest contestant is going to cross lakhs. This is Kamalika Sengupta with Anshuman Roy reporting for CNN News 18 from Krishnanagar.